Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor, and we are here with another top 10, and today we are going to be ranking the top 10 Cosmic Champions in MCOC. It is January 23rd, 2022, the day I am recording this, so I want to get all these videos out by January. I just recorded the other one like 3 hours ago, the Mystic one, which I'll probably upload first, and Cosmic is actually a champ that I did not rank before, it's a class I did not rank before when I originally started making the list. I did 3 classes and then I just never got around to doing the rest. This is one of the 3 that I did not do, but I thought I would do it in order where the previous one is has class advantage against the current one. So I just like that, and it always gave me a reminder of like what's coming next and stuff like that. So I am just going to say before I start that there are 2 champions I did not include in this list whatsoever that probably should be somewhere in this list, and there's a good reason for that, and those 2 champions are Cersei here and Icarus. I know they're good. I am completely unfamiliar because I skipped their month in the event quest. I never got to fight them. I don't know how they are as defenders. I don't have either of them at any star level, so I don't know how they are as attackers. I've seen some gameplay, but it's not enough for me to really just decide where they're at. So I've left them out of the list, although I am acknowledging right now both of them should probably be somewhere in this list, even if it's in the honorable mentions. So let's start out with the honorable mentions, and the first one is going to be a very underrated champion in Super Scroll. If you guys saw Karate Mike's video where he kind of tried to make like an objective rating for all the champions, so I think it was like 12 criteria or something like that. He went 0 to 10. There was probably more than 12. But I actually really liked the format of his video. I thought it was really impressive that he came up with all that and put all that time in. It was a really awesome video. One thing I think he did very badly was he like man's disrespected Super Scroll. Super Scroll is great. He is not the bad champion that everyone thinks he is. First of all, everyone respects him as a defender. He is a very good defender. He is always placed on defense. It's actually my Super Scroll that's on defense. Because he's Sig 60. I got him 4 times in the featured. Which at the time I was not happy about, but now I am extremely happy about it. So one of the things that Karate Mike said is that his playstyle is not easy. So it's like not something that flows naturally. I literally could not disagree more. He has one of the most straightforward, no-nonsense playstyles. His playstyle is literally get to an L3, get your aptitude, and then throw an L2 with a ton of Furies. That's it. That's his playstyle. It's not complicated. It is literally the simplest playstyle. Throw one special and then continue throwing another. Like many champions that he rated at like 8, 9, 10 have harder playstyles. He rated Hercules at an 8. Sure, Hercules isn't the craziest champion to use, but he is miles harder than Super Scroll. And I just thought that was insane. I think maybe Mike just didn't have the experience of using him, because I know he probably made that the gameplay video when he came out, but honestly I think he probably just didn't like him, so he didn't look into him any further. I do like him, so I looked into him further. I kept using him and he grew on me, and I think he's awesome. So I think he does, as far as like the top 13 Cosmics I have here, obviously not counting Icarus and Cersei, he is in that spot. He is better than some champs that I left off this list, such as Captain Marvel movie. She's not on this list because she's not good. Yeah, he's better than her. And let's move into the second one, a champ I do not have as a 6-star, except although I would love as a 6-star. And that is going to be Odin. Now, not only is Odin incredibly useful, he first of all, his synergies with Angela is awesome for long-term content, such as incursions. Also, like act quests, honestly, can be very useful. First of all, he makes Hela useful. Like you don't use Hela unless you have Odin. So it's like the Cable to Apocalypse thing. That's the significance of the synergy. And then there's also the fact that he is the pre-fights, which if you put on a low Sig Angela, basically just turns her into a high Sig Angela. Also, you have all of that protection, shock, fury, potency. Like, it's awesome. Also, you can use it on champions to cheese Rich Get Richer. You can put it on champions doing Path 9, Section 2, and Alliance War, so that they can just keep hitting during shock, and they heal from the shock. So you don't even need to send a shock immune. Just send someone and get an Odin pre-fight on that champion. Even if it's not the same person, you can just do it in Section 1 on like a mini-boss or a path fight. Double, it doesn't matter. You just need to get that pre-fight on, and you can just ignore the shock. Because a 6-star is like 90% resistance, I think. Let me see. What is the 5-star? Actually, I can just go check 6-stars. It will allow me to check. But like that doesn't matter. And then there's also the fact that he's so good in long-term content. So admittedly, his damage is not useful in short or medium-term content, but you go to Abyss, you go to Labyrinth of Legends, and you see this man shine. Like, he does serious damage. I've seen him solo a bunch of Abyss fights. I've seen him solo Thing is the most significant one. I don't need to check this. Wait, actually I will. Pre-fights, where are you? 90% shock resistance for a 6-star. Which is why I really want to pull him. Also, there's the fact that pairing him with the team of Ghost Wasp Ant-Man, which is the plus 15% attack per buff, literally gives Ghost at least plus 45% attack. And I say at least because that pre-fight also comes with an aptitude. So you use heavy attacks, and now those Furies are even bigger. So it's at the very least, unless you get nullified or you eat an L3, which will lose your protection, you have just a flat plus 45% damage, which is insane for Legend runs or Mythic runs. And that's, like, he's awesome. The next one I'm not going to talk about just because I don't know enough. I know he's great. I just don't know how. It's Null. I've seen people in my Alliance using him in Alliance War this season, and the gameplay looks like good. But he just doesn't strike me as a top 10. Maybe I'm underrating him because I don't know him very well, but I did do his event quest, I think. I definitely fought him in it was one of those it was the 1-star. It was the 1-star thing where you get all the pre-fights set up. Yeah. And then he was the boss. But I'm talking way too much about honorable mentions. I probably just went on and on about Odin. But yeah, let's get into the top 10. And the top 10, I did switch around at like the last minute, like literally 5 minutes before recording it. Originally, Null was in number 10, and this champ was in honorable mentions, but I decided to switch them. And that is going to be my man's Red Goblin. Not only does he have awesome prestige, which is why I took him to Sig 200, he deals crazy damage. He is a champion where the debuffs you inflict is based on how many buffs you have on yourself. Now you have 1 automatically from throwing a special attack. You put in Odin, you have 4. You can do some serious damage with all of those incinerates and the armor breaks. In fact, let me check quickly, because I uploaded a video of him taking the Darkhawk in Summer of Pain, and the hit count was like super low. Let me just check what that was, because I do have it right here. Red Goblin, where are you? Okay, so the time for the fight was 2 minutes, like flat. And let me see just how many hits it takes. I'm gonna mute it. But anyways, yeah, he is awesome damage. That L2 with all the debuffs, you deal all that passive damage as well. He is just crazy. How long does the fight take? It takes under 2 minutes for that fight. And let me just see how many hits it took. It takes 65 hits, which, like, other than Red Magneto, who took like 18 hits, is the lowest I've seen. So yeah, it is just, he is awesome. He is a niche champion, and I will admit he does not have all that use all over the game. But when he is an option, he is a good option. So yeah, that's going to be number 10, and we'll head into the number 9 spot on the Cosmic tier list. Again, I believe this champion is available as a 6-star. I just don't have them. Yes, they are. And that is going to be Medusa, the OG robot shutdown champion. You use an L1 boost. You go medium, L1. They're done. No ability accuracy, no power gain, no regeneration. They get nothing. You can also get that just by throwing an L3. Which is the common way that people do it. So usually you start with an L1, and then you have enough time to cycle to your L3 because you don't have to waste time baiting out specials. There's also a trap you can do. Her heavy is fast enough and long enough, and it keeps you close that you can just heavy trap in the corner until you get to your L3, and then all you have to do is parry once, do one combo, parry again, and then continue the heavy. And it's an awesome cycle that leads to a lot of damage, especially with all those Furies. She's also got the Inhuman Synergy team where she can get up to 6 Furies, which are, by the way, extremely potent Furies, which is her SIG ability. And they each increase by 437 times 6 is that more than her base attack? It's pretty much double. It's pretty much double attack. Like, almost right on. Also, she stacks indefinite armor breaks with her heavy attacks. I remember specifically in Act 6, on my very last path, actually, there was a rogue that had... what's the node where you have to have at least 3 debuffs to do damage? I forget what it's called. But, like, they take no damage. And she was my only option because I didn't have Void at the time. There were a couple other options like Quake, but that was super weird because you only did like 2 or 3 bursts of damage, so it would have been like a super long fight. But what I did is I trapped myself in the corner, baited heavy, and then got my heavy in, and I only had to do that twice. And it was a free win from there. Like, you didn't have to worry about your debuffs. She is just awesome. She is still the number 1 counter to robots, in my opinion. Although there's a close second. There's a very valid argument for Nebula being up there. But yeah, she just deals great damage. She's poison immune, which means that after the bleed's gone from your suicides, you don't have to take any additional damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. She is a top 10 Cosmic. And the next 2, I don't know. I really had a hard time deciding which one would go first. And these 2 champions, one I have, one I don't have. One is Venom, and the other is... I don't even have a 5-star Venom pool. Okay. We'll just go to the 6-star and show you the empty one. So it's Venom and Venom pool. Like, even on here, I have them tied at 7 and 8. I just wrote 7/8 for both. I honestly don't know who's better. Personally, I much prefer Venom, but Venom pool is awesome. So I'm going to put it as a tie. Venom pool / Venom is number 7 and 8. I can't decide. I think Venom is slightly better, but I see Venom pool being used more. So I don't know. Either way, Venom is just like... Since his buff, he deals awesome damage, especially when you use an L2 to convert them all into Furies. He counters evade on Spider-Verse heroes, which is extremely useful. He was like #1 counter for Spidey and all those for a while. And Miles Morales until they removed his evade on defense, which was cringe. But anyways, 7/8 is Venom Pool and Venom. So we'll move on to number 6. A champ you might not you might not understand why they're so high. You might disagree, but I honestly think it's a solid pick. And that is King Groot, the guy who would be at rank 3 if he were duped. He does not need high Sig. He needs Sig 20, and then you're good. He is one of the best champions in Alliance Quest, and probably I would be bringing him right now because I run buffed up. And he is an awesome buffed up champion because you can, from hitting the opponent, you can get like 6, 7, 8 Furies. Throw that L2 for just massive damage, and then there's like the poison is potent, and the passive damage while you're throwing your L2 is also really nice. But King Groot there, also literally the best healing in the game. He is the #1 best healing champion in the game, so there's that. He also has a massive health pool. Number 5, a champion that is available as a 6-star but is extremely rare. Is he in the current featured? I actually forget. I think he is. I think he is in the current featured. He is in the current featured, so a lot more people will be getting him, but I'm not opening any, so, other than the cheap ones you get every 2 weeks. But yes, Hyperion is going to make number 5. I do have a 5-star. That's at Sig 140, but he does not need high Sig. You just need to awaken him. Usually you take him to like Sig 20 or 30. That's what I did on my alt account, the one that I streamed on for a while. Like the new account challenge I did. That was like a year and a half ago. That was a long time ago. I haven't played that account since like Christmas. But anyways, Hyperion, like you throw your heavy attack. On average you get like 2 to 3 Furies, but you can get up to like 5 and 6. I think, is it 5 max? I think it's 5 max. Your L1 has incinerates that are really potent. Your L2 has an armor break plus a stun, and your L3 gets you the cosmic. What are they even called? It says gain your cosmic charges. You get your 3 cosmic charges, 100% chance to gain up to 3 cosmic charges, which I guess can be reduced by ability accuracy, but whatever. That's never happened to me, literally ever. And he's awesome. He regens if you hold block when you have 3 of the cosmic charges and no power gain buff, which pretty much means just get to L3, wait, and then do it. Unfortunately, during that time, you cannot gain additional power gain buffs, but if you had just thrown in L3 and you get it up right after the power gain buff, then your current power gain buff will still run and get you like a bar, so it's pretty nice. But overall, he just has great damage, and now that he's available as a 6-star rank 3, a 6-star to take to rank 3. In fact, I've seen a rank 4 Hyperion. It does exist. He deserves that number 5 spot. Now, the number 4, no one is even close. These are obviously the top 4. These should be the top 4 on literally everyone's lists. I really hope so, because it's like a clear top 4. No one is close. And at number 4, we have Corvus Glaive. Once a top 5 champion in the game. Actually, since the time he was a top 5 champion in the game, the 3 champions above him either came out. In the case of 2 of them were not in the game, and one of them was ass trash that got buffed. That's actually not true. It was a good champion, but that got buffed to become a great champion. Useless would be a better word than ass trash. But anyways, Corvus Glaive. You get a few charges in Alliance War. You burn through anything. You burn through any boss, pretty much, other than like Man-Thing, who doesn't take additional crit damage. Champs that can't get crit by specials. Ebony Maw, obviously, as you'll just miss him. But yeah, Corvus is insane. He also heals from suicides because he does not take damage from bleeds. guaranteed crits, hitting into the block, the fact that you can choose when you crit or not based on what attack you use. Yeah, he's just awesome. Corvus Glaive is really, really cool, and he deserves the number 4 spot. This champion at number 3. Oh, I realized I didn't even go to Corvus Glaive, but yeah, I do have him as a 6-star rank 3 awakened. This champion at number 3 is going to be Angela. I made a video about her recently where I did both the 6.3 Kang Boss solo and the 7.3 and the 6.4 Grandmaster solo. And in neither of those fights was I running suicides, but they were still pretty fast. So Angela is pretty much the perfect combination between sustainability and damage. So she deals awesome damage if you get like if you get an aptitude and then you get between 1 and 2 bars, you can get massive damage with the Furies. Also, when you throw a special, the number of buffs you have becomes that many armor breaks on the defender, which is really nice. Awesome. Also, her SIG ability. So mine's up SIG 182 or 183. You only need SIG 182. I miscounted when I was putting SIG stones in, which is why mine's at 183, but it's 1 SIG stone. And basically, when I'm at 3 buffs, I am completely immune to nullify and auto block and all damaging debuff duration. It's just gone. She also has the ability to parry non-contact attacks, such as Iron Man Infinity War's first medium attack. Not many champs in the game have that. Guardian, Cull, Proxima, then there's a few others. But anyways, yeah, she's just awesome. Also, this is something I should talk about right here. When damaged, for each 10% damage taken, gain an indefinite resilience charge. When below max health, if she does not have a regeneration buff, she converts it into a regeneration buff, healing almost 2,000 health over 10 seconds. Now, this is so broken because it's not you losing 10%. It's for each 10% max health taken overall, not including the healing that is reversing that. So all of the damage you're taking from suicides gets banked into this. So you're taking the damage from the bleed and the poison, and it just turns into a regen buff, which means that, let's say you're at 90% health and you don't have a regen buff. After the bleed expires from your suicides, you're going to stay at 90% health, but continue to bank to get that Fury buff. And that means that when the Fury buff arrives, obviously it'll be a little bit reduced because of the poison, but you're just going to indefinitely heal. So she just heals from poison suicides. Not directly, but indirectly through this, the resilience charges. And then, yeah, there's all the Hunter stuff. And then also the heavy attack when you want to get a second one of the buff for whichever bars you're between. Your heavy has an additional chance or a higher chance to crit, so you have a higher chance to copy the buff, which happens from crits. But now we will go into number 2, and number 2 and number 1 are obvious. Number 2 is Cosmic Ghost Rider. He is one of the best champions for Legend runs, Alliance War, Mythic runs. He's not even that bad in long-term content, although he's not a realistic option, but he's not bad. Like Labyrinth and Abyss. Cosmic Ghost Rider is just great. He deals awesome damage. The only downside is he is medium difficult to play just because you can't dex, or your L2 will do very little damage because you will not gain your precision. But other than that, really solid. He is bleed immune. He is incinerate immune. He has a lot of use. And yeah, he deserves that number 2 spot. Number 1, very obvious. It is Hercules. He is he is just easily the number 1 cosmic champion. It is not close. He is awesome in Alliance War. He is awesome in short-term content, medium-term content. Not great in long-term content, but he's okay. He is probably the best champ overall for clearing act content, although there are better for, like, there's no one fight that he is objectively the best answer for, but he pretty much can do anything at like a 9 out of 10, which is really nice. The only thing that he kind of suffers with is fighting mystics. For example, Mojo, Hercules versus Mojo is maybe the worst matchup. It is equal to, it is equally bad to using a Mystic versus Human Torch. But other than that, Hercules, he's just a monster. He is so good, and he deserves that #1 spot. So let me know in the comments if you agree with my list. So I'll just go over it quickly again. Honorable mentions: number 3, Super Scroll; number 2, Odin; number 1, Null; number 10 on my top 10 list, Red Goblin; number 9, Medusa; number 8, Venom; number 7, Venom Pool. Those two are 7/8, so I'm not actually ranking up or ranking Venom Pool over Venom. They are 7/8, both of them. 6, King Groot; 5, Hyperion; 4, 4, Corvus Glaive; 3, Angela; 2, Cosmic Ghost Rider; and 1, Hercules. Like I said, I don't know where to put Icarus and Cersei because I don't know enough about them, but they should probably both be somewhere on this list, whether it's top 10 or honorable mentions. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.